Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanisms in Journeys in Middle-earth. These are the painted minis that we played with my friend's copy. This is obviously a Lord of the Rings themed game. You may have heard of it, you may have played it. It's a cooperative game where you are playing through a series of scenarios. We just played the first scenario in the game that I played. And there are a few mechanisms that I wanted to talk about. One is the scouting mechanism, which is just it's a great core mechanism in this game that involves randomness from the top of your deck. Basically, at the beginning of your turn, you're going to draw a few cards from the top of your deck, depending on the various abilities in play amongst the different players, the different characters. And you're going to choose one of those cards to put into play and have available, and then you're going to choose one of those cards to put on the top or the bottom of the deck. The reason this matters is that there are a variety of skill checks that happen during the game, and they look at the top card or the top cards of your deck. And so you often have this choice of, am I going to put a powerful card into play, or am I going to save it and put it on top of my deck so that I have that skill to use when I have a skill check this turn? It's a simple choice, and I enjoyed it. I think it's just a great core mechanism for a game that involves a deck of cards with randomness. There are a couple other mechanisms that I want to mention here that I think is really, really cool. And one I haven't heard many people talking about, and that's what I'll call the Overkill Mechanism. Maybe that's what's officially called in the game, I'm not sure. But basically, there are many scenarios. Like you can see me here. I was playing a Gimli type character, or maybe actually Gimli himself, and I was fighting against a bunch of guys around me. It's a game where you're doing a lot of fighting, at least from the scenario that we played. And oftentimes in games like this, if I have 10 damage to deal, I can maybe only attack one guy this round, and even though he only has 3 health, I might deal I don't have any choice but to deal all 10 damage to him. In this game, though, this overkill mechanism lets you deal damage to this guy, and this guy. So say I take out this guy, and I still have extra damage, I can carry it over to this guy as well. So the damage kind of hits everyone around you, depending on who you want to hit. I think you need to take out one of the guys first to impact another one. But I just love that you don't feel like you're wasting any of your strength, any of your power. Also, we didn't have this happen in the game, but I've heard good things about this, which is the last gasp mechanism in the game. The idea being that if you're about to lose the game, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I'll just talk about the core concept from what I understand, is that if you're about to lose the game cooperatively, you get a last gasp. So if everything's going wrong, you're about to lose, you get one final chance to make a big climactic stand against the forces of Sauron, or whoever the bad guy in this game. I'm assuming it's Sauron. And to potentially win the game. And I love that idea that I can imagine that has led to some very memorable moments in this game, and I think that's what games like this are all about, having those memorable moments where you come together with your friends for one last chance to win, and sometimes you pull it off and sometimes you don't. I think that's pretty cool. I imagine there's a lot of mechanisms that I've missed here in this game because I only played one session, so feel free to share your favorite mechanism in Journeys in Middle-earth in the comments below, or if any of these mechanisms remind you of another game that you really enjoy, I'd love to hear about that as well. Thanks!